hier im Sportpark. Seid ihr bereit für das Freundschaftsspiel gegen Paris heute hier im Sportpark? Dann starten wir jetzt wie gewohnt in diesem Freundschaftsspiel mit unserer Startelf und natürlich im Tor mit unserer Nummer 1, Ena.
Bayern TV Plus zum letzten Abteilung beheimatet sein. Heute aber erstmal noch der Härtetest, wie eben schon gesagt, gegen Paris FC. Eine namenhafte und starke Mannschaft aus der Ligue A und wirklich nochmal ein ganz, ganz wichtiges Spiel, um nochmal ein paar Abläufe einzustudieren. Und das ist eben das, was heute auf dem Programm steht für die Mannschaft, mit dem Zusatz, dass es eben diese besondere Spielstätte gibt. Hier 10 Minuten circa mit dem Auto von der Sebener Straße entfernt im Sportpark Unterhaching. Wir fühlen uns schon sehr wohl und ich glaube, die Mannschaft auch. Meine Kollegin Chiara Fischer hatte schon einen ganz besonderen Gesprächsgast vor dem Spielstart und hat sich mit ihm über die neue Spielstätte unterhalten.
Ich habe ihn bei mir, den Präsidenten Herbert Heiner. Herr Heiner, wie empfinden Sie es jetzt hier zu sein? Sie waren schon mal draußen, haben Sie mal ein bisschen Luft geschnuppert. Wie ist es für Sie hier?
Ja, es ist toll hier, muss ich sagen, wenn man sich das vorstellt. Wir sind gestern gerade von der Audi Sommertour mit den Männern aus Hongkong zurückgekommen. Heute hier in Unterhaching.
Wonderful
das
place,
ist
just
der FC
arrived
Bayern
back from Hong Kong
in München zu
with
Hause und in der Welt am Ball.
Auch die Frauenmannschaft war dieses Jahr international unterwegs. Was bedeutet das für den FC Bayern, dass man wirklich auch international vertreten ist in dieser Vorbereitung?
Ja, der FC Bayern, sowohl die Männer wie auch die Frauen, hat ja so viele Fans auch im Ausland. Und wir haben immer gesagt, wir wollen den Menschen und den Fans nah sein. Und deswegen machen wir diese Reisen auch. Die sind nicht immer ganz einfach, weil sie in den Terminkalender reingepasst werden müssen. Aber es war bei den Frauen in Tokio eine unheimliche Begeisterung. Und ich war selber jetzt eine Woche mit den Männern unterwegs.
Herbert Heiner saying that FC Bayern loves to represent Germany in the Bundesliga.
Und der Erfolg, den beide Mannschaften zeigen, ist auf jeden Fall auch schön, was erhoffen Sie sich dieses Jahr von der Frauenmannschaft.
Ja, die Erwartungen beim FC Bayern sind natürlich immer hoch. Jetzt haben die Frauen
expectations for the upcoming season, of course, expectations are always very high.
Natürlich wollen wir das wieder. So sind wir beim FC Bayern. Wir sind hungrig nach Titeln.
We won both national titles last season. Of course, we want to do that again. And we've seen last season that we're very close to the top on European soil as well, and we want to take a next step on European soil as well.
Sie waren ja einmal kurz beim Fanfest. Wie haben Sie das erlebt?
Of course, the fan festival around the stadium here. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's great to see about 5,000 fans
wir haben ja auch unsere anderen Abteilungen mit Ständen da, zum Beispiel die Schiedsrichter, die Tischtennisspieler, die Basketballer, Rot gegen Rassismus. Und der FC Bayern zeigt sich in seiner ganzen Breite.
Other staff within the FC Bayern Munich, like the referees, and other teams represented on the festival as well. So a very nice day for FC Bayern fans in general here in Unterhaching. Lucas with the same feeling, had some impressions of the fan festival as well. And we do see and hear that the stadium will be quite packed today.
Und auch für ihn ist es heute der erste Test im neuen Stadion hier. Coach,
first test
how
for
are you
him in
feeling?
this
Are you excited
new
to play
stadium?
here in your new home?
Yes, really excited, really excited. It's a great day for the club, for the team, for us as a staff to be in our new home. We just want to build this connection with the new facility, with the fans and the team. We are really excited.
Also er ist sehr aufgeregt, in dieser neuen Heimat zu spielen, freut sich auf dieses Spiel mit den neuen Fans und ja, mit den ganzen neuen Gesichtern in dieser Heimat der FC Bayern Frauen.
Translation into German.
Next week you have the Supercup in less than a week. How are you feeling with the match today? Do you think it's still a match where you can try things out, or do you want everything to be ready for next week?
Yeah, we are in a stage where we are working in our physical readiness. We are still building our interactions, our coordinations to understand our team identity and how we want to play as a team. Yeah, we are in this process building our foundation. It's still too early to think about next game. But yeah, we just want to take the next step in intensity, in consistency and in our basic game principles.
Also er sagt, Sie wollen von Spiel zu Spiel schauen. Sie haben noch einiges, an dem Sie arbeiten müssen in der Athletik, in der Fitness, aber Sie wollen auf jeden Fall nächste Woche bereit sein. And in your first season with FC Bayern, you already won 3 titles. Does that give you pressure for this season, or are you just excited going into the second season with FC Bayern?
I always say that the same. It's a privilege to belong to this institution, to this club. Titles is a consequence of the really good job this club is doing for such a long time. And I'm just a privilege to be here to belong to this club.
Also all in all, es ist einfach ein Privileg, hier bei diesem Club zu sein. Thank you, José. Good luck for the match. Und zurück zu dir, Luki.
Ja, vielen Dank auch nochmal für die sportliche Einschätzung an unseren Cheftrainer. Und jetzt stehen wir schon kurz vor Spielstart.
So now we're getting closer to the start of this
rund im Sportpark Unterhaching. Wir freuen uns auf
Very
diese
good
erste
atmosphere
Partie.
here,
Alle Infos
and
zu dieser ersten Partie
it's
hier
so
in der
bad
neuen
in
Spielstätte.
a
Die gibt's
couple
jetzt
of
von unseren
minutes
Kommentatoren.
now. All right, let's go. Let's get into this first test here in Unterhaching in the new stadium for our FC Bayern women's squad. The new home, of course, still things are to do. There's a lot of work for the club to be held around here. A lot of things that have to be renewed, have to be worked on, but nevertheless, it's already a perfect setting for this final test and moving onwards from here for the upcoming Champions League games this season here at the Sportpark in Unterhaching. This is the guest. This is Paris FC coming in as Cup winner in 2025 in France, also being placed second in the French league last season, so qualified for the Champions League group stage league phase already. A big success for them, beating Paris Saint-Germain, the local rivalry, leaving them behind. It's a big statement for Paris FC. Great development for that club. Let's have a look at the two squads for the two teams today. First of all, of course, the FC Bayern squad with the two teams coming onto the pitch. I hope you can kind of feel, hear the good atmosphere. More than 5,000 fans here at this stadium. Everyone standing for the two teams, everyone applauding. So this must be a great feeling for FC Bayern women's team. Come onto the pitch here for the very first time. Doris Vigersdottir, the captain again this season, leading the FC Bayern women's team into this last test, this dress rehearsal before they will fight for the first silverware of the season next weekend in the Supercup in Ingolstadt against VfL Wolfsburg. So this is the starting squad for Bayern with Mahmutovic in goal. We have a full women's backline with Balisaga, Eriksson, Vigersdottir and Naschen Weng. For that, Caruso and Sheidla in central, respectively, defensive midfield. Dalman, Harder and Bühl taking over up front, and Jovana Damjanovic is the center forward today. Let's have a look at Paris FC. We'll expect a 4-2-3-1 as well. Maybe we see Matteo next to Vien up front. Apart from that, Chavas in goal, Ndongola, Osin, Diaz, Bakeriso. That's the back line. Picard, Korolchech. Two midfielders, and Reinders, Matteo Toloba These are the 3 offensive players in midfield. Toloba and Reinders, the 2 wingers. That's at least what I expect from Paris FC, tactical-wise, today. Arsene Wenger starting as left back today. To be honest, I'm still trying to find out the referee's team for today. Wasn't able to do that before the game. No one could tell me who's on the whistle today. As soon as I find out, I'll let you know. Paris FC kicking things off in this final test for FC Bayern. Bayern, of course, dressed in red, going from right to left from our point of view. Of course, this is a big test against a very strong team on Paris FC. They are certainly a bit behind in their pre-season, starting a couple of weeks later than Bayern will into their new season. They won't start before 6th of September, so therefore they just started with their preparations. Had 1 test already against Auxerre, won that 1-0. Reinders with the first cross and a first good chance in the opening minute for Paris FC. Eveline Viens is the one, gets a bit of a touch, just not enough to score in this very opening sequence for Paris FC. Bit of luck for Bayern there. Bit far away on the outside as well on the inside. Bayern should be warned now. Mahmutovic. Alara now dropping back in the build-up. Caruso. Balizaga taking over the right back position today. We're used to see her as a center back as well. So a bit of a unknown position for her. Still able to play on that position, has done that before, but nevertheless not quite used to that position anymore. Stine Balizaga, Danish international. Caruso gets her body in between. Good moment for her. Mahmutovic. Of course, Bayern willing to build their own game, even though they are pressured. Long ball should never be the first solution. Nevertheless, this one is a good one. Damjanovic, offside position on this first long ball. We do see those colored stripes on the pitch down there. The football team of the Munich Ravens does hold their home games here at the Sportpark Unterhaching as well. That's the explanation for that. Dahlmann. Dahlmann in between. Dahlmann with the good dribbling. Dahlmann. That was one too much. Things were getting too tight, couldn't go for any other solution, so he's trying to dribble around another one and maybe find finishing position. Naschenweng. Ball crossed. Touchline. Paris FC throw in. Temperature very high here in Munich last couple of days. It's probably 34 degrees plus. We will for sure see some breaks for cooling and picking up some liquid. As far as I know, there will be one in each half after around 22-23 minutes. We'll see how things develop. Substitutions will be allowed, as many as needed on both sides, and that leads us to the topic that Bayern is missing many players, with only 6 players on the bench on the FC Bayern side, alongside 7 players it is, but 2 of them being goalkeepers with Sophie Klein and Regina van Eyck. So only 5 options for José Bacala and his coaching squad to choose from on the field. Next chance for Paris FC. Good save by Anna Mahmutovic. Not a big task for her, but Eveline Vien with another good chance. Reinders, Aurélie Reinders won the ball, and Eveline Vien takes another good shot. Now the build-up doesn't work too good so far in this opening 5-6 minutes for Bayern. Lose the ball a bit too early. Right side. Ndongala. Ould Hussein and Mylène Chavas, today's starting goalkeeper. Let's have a look at the missing players for Bayern today. There's Leila Portela not with the squad today, but often part of the second team for Bayern. Apart from that, Momoko Tanikawa missing today because of illness. Sarah Zadrazil still on her way back, as well as Lena Oberdorf after knee injuries the two of them had. Sophie Prost missing due to illness as well. Short term, should have had her first appearance for FC Bayern today, but got sick. As well as Momoko Tanikawa short term. Would have been 2 wonderful options for José Bacala. We know that Julia Gwynn has been missing after her surgery on her shoulder. Franziska Kett, you've probably all heard of that, read about that ankle injury. Vanessa Gil out as well. Anna Klink, goalkeeper option, missing with a broken hand, and Bernadette Armani played Africa Cup till yesterday, lost with the Ivory Coast in the quarterfinals, won the group stage, but now is out of the Africa Cup. So José Bacala and his coaching staff will hope to have her back very soon, as we saw Adrian Negro, who came new to the coaching staff, joined in July 2026. Him and José Bacala have been knowing each other for quite a long time, and Clara Schöne with the two of them, who's been the assistant coach last season. Already, of course, completed by Gentilone, who is celebrating his birthday today, his 57th. So all the best to Gentilone. And, of course, Michael Netolitsky, goalkeeper's coach. Maschinen with the throw in for Clara Böhl. Clara Böhl showing her skills and her ability to go deep with her runs, her quickness, her physical strength. Obviously, it was a bit too much of her physical strength for the moment. And whistled down. Caruso taking over in midfield today. Might be the top option for the Super Cup next to Alara as well. Hopefully there will be a couple of players back till next Saturday. And they want to win their first silverware of the season, as they did last year. 3 titles last season for Jose Bacala in his debut season with FC Bayern. Won the Super Cup, won the DFB Pokal, and won the German Bundesliga title. Semi-final in the Champions League. Can't do much better in your first season with a new team. As we have a slight look towards Sandrine Souberan, French coach of Paris FC. Late offside, flag is up. Great atmosphere here at the stadium, great support, and that's exactly what the club expects of this future home for the FC Bayern Women. At this small stadium, which is in comparison much bigger than what we have at the FC Bayern campus in the Ingolstädter Straße. 2,500 can be part of the games at the FC Bayern campus. Up to 15,000 should be possible soon here in Unterhaching. Good connection and Bayern lead. Ivana Damjanovic with the opener for Bayern. Or was it harder? Both of them involved in the middle as Stine Balizaga came up with that first cross. First very good sequence by Bayern. In the 13th minute. Pernille Harder going out there. Let's have another look. Balizaga into the middle, and it is Pernille Harder. Damjanovic moving in there as well. Good movement, and Pernille Harder stands where she needs to be. Best goal scorer of last season for Bayern just keeps going. 1-0 lead. Can't really say it would be deserved, since it's been the first very good sequence in Bayern possession, to be honest. But of course, we do take that. I mentioned before that there is not too many options out there on the bench for Bayern, and therefore this starting squad needs to build up the self-esteem for that Super Cup against Wolfsburg. Voilà. Still Dongala. Good pressure by Linda Dahlmann. Damjanovic. A little smell on that. Quick enough. Yeah, that ball was well outside. Well, that will help, of course, Stine Balisaga as well. As a right back starting today might be her job against Wolfsburg as well. Will not be a problem defensively, no doubt about that. But of course, she needs to get used to the offensive side of that position. But did really well with her first cross, perfectly timed for Pernille Harder. Clara Böhl, a bit too much again against Melvin Dongala. Paris FC. Story of the women's team is a bit different than the one of the men's team, since the women's team got integrated into Paris SC quite late in 2017. That was so just 9 years ago. Calling for a handball, another shot blocked by Vigosdottir. Böhl. The story of Paris FC. AS Juvisy-sur-Orge was the name originally of the women's team. Did you see another good block by Eriksson this time? And that was a quite successful club in France. It was taken over in 2017 by Paris FC. Playing their home games in Le Son Stadium now with almost 20,000 capacity. So quite a good home ground for Paris FC and the development they are taking, as the club was taken over 2 years ago from big investors as well, with big plans for this club to become the number 2 club in France. Of course, there is Lyon as well, especially in the women's segment. Olympique Lyon, very strong team as well. Champions League finalist once again last season. It's the biggest rival at the moment. Paris Saint-Germain seems side as well for Paris FC. It's a very interesting development the French team has taken the last couple of years. Good dribbling by Dongala, good cross, good positioning by the Bayern defense. Toloba. We do see that Paris FC is capable of playing great football, good ball movement. Very international squad, Paris FC. 28 players, 12 different nations, like Portugal, Poland, Ecuador, Morocco, Slovenia, United States, Japan, Colombia, Belgium, Costa Rica and Canada. Very young as well. A couple of 17-year-old players with the squad today. More than 5 players under 19 today. Showing that that is one of the aspects they work on. That's the way they want to approach things, developing young players. But that's the same for Bayern, of course, on the other side, with the FC Bayern campus in hand, with the second team, and with a new campus for FC Bayern women's team, and everyone involved being developed here in Unterhaching. So 3 to 4 years from now, everything that has to do with the FC Bayern women's team will be hosted here. That will be the new home, Unterhaching, for the FC Bayern women's team. As I explained when we started into this, Unterhaching is just outside of Bayern, just 10 minutes away by car from the Sebener Straße, where FC Bayern is still at home in the heart of Munich. So great option to develop things here. Now Bayern with some pressure, a bit higher, and as soon as they do, they're able to take over, they're able to win the ball. But of course still not everything perfect. And of course with some add-ons this summer as well. Ina van Eyck, goalkeeper, came from Ajax, on the bench today. Midfielder Sophie Prost, I've mentioned. Huge talent. Ball still in play. Dahlmann. Slight misunderstanding. Caruso. So Sophie Prost joined from Twente. Sarah Mattner in from St. Pölten, German international. Very interesting add-on for the right back position, especially. Can play left back, can play as a right winger as well. And Cassandra Pozzi joined from Essen. Very interesting young talent. Still very young, but has collected many games in the German Bundesliga with Essen already, showing her potential. So now we do have a cooling break, some liquid, and Jose Bacala, of course, using this for some more instructions. Cooling desperately needed with those ice-cold towels around the necks. Jose Bacala hoping that he gets through to his goals with his tactical advices. Not easy in a moment like this. Everything heated up. Brain, of course, not always ready to soak things up, especially tactical things, but nevertheless, of course, the pro players and Dahlmann in talks with Adrian Negro, new assistant coach, as we get a wonderful view of the huge coaching staff the Bayern women's team by now has. Michael Netolitsky, goalkeepers coach. Clara Bühl in talks with Ivana Damjanovic. Of course, the tactical analyst. Having a look on the pitch as well from up here on the stands, bringing down the information right away. Using every possible way to improve things. And on we go. Well, that must have been almost 3 minutes, I think. We'll get that added on top. At least that's the plan. Maybe it won't be as much since we are still in a test, of course, and cannot imagine that we will see 98 minutes plus of football today. It's just too hot. Bakariso, left back for Paris FC. Ecuador international Manoli Bakariso joined the team this summer. So another very interesting add-on for Paris. And Eriksson in the build-up. Caruso. Alara. And Damjanovic with the pressure, winning the ball, or at least winning the duel, but the opponent goes down. I think it was Kaja Korojec. Get another look on that. Slovenia international. No, Korojec is still up on her feet. Might have been Clara Matteo. Seems to be in pain, but it is Océane Picard. Absolute fixture in the Paris midfield for several seasons now. 24 years old. Océane Picard, let's hope the best. She's not injured. Many options as Paris FC brought everyone they have to this test today, coming out of a training camp. And of course, talks going on. Bacala, Negro and Schöne discussing a couple of things as the sun now moves a couple of more people into the shade. Well, It's quite hot down there. The sun burning down here in Unterhaching. Picard back on her feet, testing, checking. Of course, they will not take any risk. Let's see and wait if she will continue, or Paris SC will take an early substitution. It looks as if she keeps going. Inside of her ankle. A bit more of cooling. And on we go. Good pressure by Caruso and Balizaga. Trying to find that contact towards Dahlmann as she's going down. Stine Balizaga. Good work by Dahlmann. On the defensive end of the field. Tolaba with a good switch towards Dongala. Well played by Anna Mahmutovic, new #1. Speaking about the number on her back, has been wearing 32 last season, but developed as clear #1 goalkeeper for Bayern and is wearing that #1 on her back now. With Regina van Eyck, of course, trying to collect a couple of games this season as well. Pushing Mahmutovic. And as soon as she's back, Klink, of course, wants to be an option as well. At the moment, certainly she's the one being the third keeper for the moment. And she has recovered from a broken hand. Well done by Tolova. Bien, goes down in the middle. Damjanovic, good movement with the ball, turns around, doesn't have many options as Balizaga now overlaps. Dahlmann. Dahlmann taking too much time. To be honest, not too many good moments for Bayern in this game so far. On the offensive side of the field. Paris seemed to have the better moments up front. Bayern free kick. Bühl with the cross. And another goal for Bayern. Second moment they get into the box. Second goal of the game. Alara Schädler is the one putting it over the line. Great cross by Clara Bühl. A bit of chaos in Paris defense. Not able to clear that one away, and Alara is the one putting it into the back of the net. Cross comes into the middle. Eriksson and Vigosdottir are there, and Alara is the one to score in the end. Pretty much a tap in for Alara. 2-0. 35th minute. Other side of the field. As we keep going up and down. It's a good test. Another easy pickup for Ina Mahmutovic. Caruso now taking her time in the build-up. Aschenweng, some space. Another lost ball by Alara. Oh, well done, Toloba. Mariam Toloba, Belgium international, certainly player to be watched in this first half on the Paris FC side. A lot of good moves, a lot of good moments. Had a couple of assists for Evelyne Viens as well. As we go towards the other side of the field, Dahlmann in this counter-attack situation. Clara Bühl. Clara Bühl, that's exactly what she loves. Good turn, Clara Bühl. Trying to find harder. Always a good idea to aim for that far post and hope that someone gets that foot in between to tap it in. Bit of a curler, almost towards that far post. José Bacala, we've heard that in the interview before the game with Chiara down there, that Bayern still is in the physical build-up, as you like. It's still a pre-season phase, and of course that will probably be the case moving into the season as well. You need to be at your fullest next March, April, May, when things get serious and everything is built on that. Of course, you want to be ready with the start of the season, especially with that Supercup coming up. But it is the same topic for every other team as well. So therefore, of course, you want to be as ready as possible, but still, focus is on that long range and the build-up. Damjanovic, as we do know her, Joanna Damjanovic, Serbia international, very experienced player by now, 31 years old. 190 competitive games for Bayern, 71 goals. She's third on the all-time scoring list for Bayern by now. Quite strong numbers. Alara. On the build-up, it's especially Caruso who drops back a bit more than Alara does. But that very first build-up together with the two center backs. Many things taking quite some time. Of course, it is unbelievably hot. It is pre-season. We don't want to put everything on the line here today, especially with that 2-0 lead, which really helps building that belief for the upcoming games, competitive games. After that 2-2, that was the last friendly against the 1. FC Nürnberg, where things were not going too well from Bayern's point of view. Of course, Nürnberg Bundesliga squad as well, but nevertheless, expectation would be to beat them. More than 2,000 I've been watching that game in Donauwörth, which is in Bavaria as well. As the Dahlmann equalized Tassa Lane's lead. And Pernille Harder once again equalized with a header. But overall, of course, Jose Bacala not completely happy with the game he saw, but as we look into history, that's a bit of a thing for Bayern, that they always, I don't want to say mess up, but they always have one test doesn't go through perfectly smooth, and that was the one against Nuremberg. The other one against RB Omiya Ardea in Japan was played just outside of Tokyo, and Omiya was quite convincing. With a win in general that of course very marketing driven. Travel to Japan has been a huge success, been a great experience for the players. Huge success for the sponsors as well. "45 minutes through, and another good one just as they opened the game with Eveline Vien and a big chance in the very first minute. They do have another one in the last minute, but once again Vien is not able to get her foot completely on that one. Apart from that, a couple of very good situations. For Bayern, but more of them for Paris FC in that first half. Another one down the field as Naschenweng now moved up, and offensive foul as we get 3 minutes on top. That's exactly what the cooling break was. That does make sense. And that's, I think, everyone involved now wants to be in the locker room to cool down in the shade, get the drinks, and have a break. Even though I can imagine that Paris FC might switch the whole squad coming into that second half. Interesting to see that, as we see, we have seen many of the players warming up also on the Bayern side. Could imagine that we do see 5 changes right away on the Bayern side as well, and maybe a change back after another 20 or 30 minutes. But it's for sure that some of the players for Bayern have to take on the whole 90 minutes here today. Last 30 seconds. Good test for Bayern so far. Paris FC being exactly the opponent Bayern has expected and was hoping for as well, to be tested. That's what they did, especially on the defensive side for Bayern. And on the other hand, Bayern not developing too much offensively, but they scored when they needed to. That's it, 2-0 lead for Bayern against Paris FC after 45 minutes, respectively 48 minutes being played, with Pernille Harder, who opened the scoring in the 13th minute after a good sequence with Stine Balisaga playing as a right back today. And a good offensive moment, good cross, finding Pernille Harder for the 1-0. 2-0 coming after a dead ball situation. Clara Buhl with a free kick, and Alara scoring with the tap in. That's the 2 scores we saw so far. So it will be interesting to see now what we get in the second half, what we get changing wise on both sides of the field. What will Jose Bacala change for that start of the second half? Of course, we'll be back with the action, but apart from that, we do have some good guests with Lukas and Chiara Fischer now coming up and joining us down at the field as we wait for our guests. We can of course have another quick look for what's coming up, but I think Lucas is ready now.
Ja, vielen Dank. Ich melde mich vom... Vielen Dank schon mal mit den besten Grüßen hier von der Seitenlinie nach oben auf die Kommentatorenplätze. Ihr könnt euch hoffentlich auch ein bisschen ausruhen. Ja, ihr habt es gehört in der ersten Halbzeit, es ist wirklich heiß und ich würde da auf jeden Fall auch mitgehen, dass sich die beiden Mannschaften jetzt ein bisschen abkühlen müssen und wir dann hoffentlich noch mal eine top-zweite Hälfte sehen werden. Die erste Hälfte hat schon vieles hergegeben. Man sieht sehr viel, darüber wollen wir gleich auch noch sprechen mit der Direktorin Frauenfußball des FC Bayern München, Bianca Rech. Die kommt dann gleich zu uns, ist jetzt vielleicht gerade noch in der Kabine, kriegt noch ein bisschen was von der Mannschaft mit und dann kriegen wir die brandheißen Informationen. Die Zeit bis dahin überbrücken wir aber mit einem kleinen Rundgang. Ich habe es eingangs schon erwähnt und jetzt auch in der ersten Halbzeit gehört. Das ist die neue Spielstätte des FC Bayern München, europäisch.
We will now have a look at this new home here in Unterhaching.
Direktion und für alle Bereiche. Und was es hier alles zu sehen gibt, das haben sich 3 Spielerinnen schon mal angeschaut.
This place.
Schauen wir uns mal an, was hier abgeht. Ich finde es auch cool.
So Clara Böhl, Franziska Ketz and Lara showing us around here in Unterhaching.
Wow, das ist schon ein großer Platz, gell?
Talking about that huge pitch and trying out a couple of new things here.
Ja, hier sind sie schon recht weit.
The new home.
Hey, das ist richtig schön.
This will be the new VIP area. But as we see, it's still a lot to do. But we do see that we've come some way from when this was filmed.
Könnt ihr euch das schon so vorstellen? Schon eine große Tribüne auch, aber es wird cool.
Of course, girls are very happy with this new stadium, with the possibilities fan-wise.
Aber ja, die Ladies, die wachsen ja auch von jeder Saison, oder? Also ich finde, das merkt man schon. Und vielleicht mit dem, dass wir hier umziehen, dann noch mal mehr. Also wir spielen ja hier.
Bayern is hoping for some new fans.
Und da sind die Stehplätze
joining,
auch.
Especially in the south of Munich now, as all the people coming from the south. The way to the stadium is much shorter.
26 könnten dahin passen.
So the at least 3 home games in the Champions League league phase will be played here at home. Now measuring the new bench, which is already been built as we saw in the live.
Fände ich auch cool, wenn man es da lässt, weil es gibt dem so ein bisschen Flair.
Unterhaching has been the home for the Spielvereinigung Unterhaching. A small club outside of Munich, had some Bundesliga
Dann macht man eine
played in their history as well, but are now a 4th division team. As pro men's football is starting in 3rd league in Germany, so that shows where Unterhaching is at the moment. And the Spielvereinigung Unterhaching itself was very happy that Bayern bought this place and will now rebuild a lot of things. Because Unterhaching didn't have the money to renew things here. And we see that we've been talking about the new pitch coming into the stadium. We do already see that new pitch here today, but still we do have those football marks on it. So Clara now explaining that in this building we just saw outside of the window there will be a new pro center for female players of FC Bayern in the future. That will take a bit more time, but will come as well.
Wenn wir vom Fußball bleiben, wäre ich ein bisschen verwirrt, aber weil man sieht so 20er, aber an sich. Untergrund, was sagt ihr? Okay. Und ein bisschen so wie unser Trainingsplatz hier.
So yeah, some very nice first impressions of this new stadium.
Wunderschöne Einblicke, so sieht es also aus hinter den Kulissen.
Now we have Lucas.
Und ich habe es gerade schon angekündigt, ich habe eine Gästin
Director
hier unten,
of
Bianca
the
Rech,
women's
die
team with Bianca Rech,
die was für eine erste Hälfte gesehen hat in dieser neuen Spielstätte. Ich bin gespannt, was du erzählst.
Ich würde sagen, ja, der Hitze geschuldet. Wir haben uns minimalsten Torschancen 2 Tore gemacht.
Okay.
Das ist erstmal
Didn't
gut.
have too many chances,
Klar,
but made the best out of it with the 2 goals.
Die Bedingungen sind nicht leicht. Sicherlich haben wir eine etwas
Of
höhere
course,
Erwartung.
very hot. Of course, we do expect more.
Wenn du das so sagst, dann muss man jetzt natürlich auch noch mal ein bisschen auf die Zeit schauen.
What we
Viel
do
ist nicht mehr
expect.
bis zum Supercup. Nächste Woche geht's los.
Not too much
Wie schätzt
time
du es an?
left
Was muss noch passieren, um da eine gute Partie
till
abzuziehen?
the Supercup
Ja, also
next
erstmal von den
week.
10 heute nicht zur Verfügung
has to
stehenden
happen?
Spielerinnen, welche zurückkommen, das ist das eine.
Of course, we
aber, ja,
have
sicherlich noch
10
die ein oder
players
anderen
missing
Dinge müssen
today, and
verfeinert werden, die auf dem
that's
Platz,
part of the explanation, that's for
dafür
sure.
brauchen wir das Training noch in den nächsten 2 Wochen. Der
But
Supercup ist wichtig, klar.
Supercup
aber
is
ist
important,
immer
of
noch ein
course,
Teil
but
der
it's
Vorbereitung, bis dann
still
das Spiel in
a
Union
part
Berlin
of the
ansteht.
pre-season for us, to
Aber
be
wir haben noch
honest.
2 Wochen Zeit, ist gut. Die eine oder
Before
andere
the
Spielerin wird auch
Bundesliga game at
zurückkommen
Union,
und,
so we
dann
have
wird's auch
2
nicht so
more
einfach
weeks to
machen.
go.
Auf was kommt es dann
Of
nochmal
course, we
an,
wanna
wenn dann
take
die
that
Mannschaft
first silver
komplett ist? Geht es da um Abläufe, geht es um das
Focus
Miteinander? Was
is
wird da
on
nochmal
the
besonders
Bundesliga.
herausgehoben?
Ja,
und
das ist
Union.
angesprochen, genau, das ist eben gerade das Thema. Uns fehlen jetzt seit letzter Woche schon sehr, sehr viele Spielerinnen, die natürlich nicht in den
What
Trainingsabläufen
needs to
dabei
be worked
sind.
on?
Und eben gerade zu den Spielen hin bestimmte Abläufe einzustudieren, das ist im Moment ein bisschen schwierig, weil
Yeah,
wir
we're
nicht so viele
of
Spielerinnen
course
zur Verfügung
trying
haben.
to
Aber wir machen
find the
aktuell das Beste
mechanics,
draus.
the
Das
automatisms.
ist ja auch schon ein bisschen das Ende
with
der
that many
Vorbereitungsphase jetzt. Du hast gesagt, es gibt
players
natürlich noch ein paar
missing, we are not
Trainingseinheiten, aber
quite
es ist
able
das
to
letzte
do
Spiel
that
der Vorbereitung. Wie fällt denn dein erstes
as
Resümee
good
dieser
as we want to.
Ja,
In
also
general,
durchaus eine intensive
your
Vorbereitung, auch mit unserer Reise nach Japan, aber auch keine
works
Vorbereitung,
on
die jetzt
that
zu lang
preparation
war. Hätten wir uns
phase,
vielleicht eine
of
Woche
course
mehr
very
gewünscht, vielleicht,
intense with
aber
our
wir
travel
haben
to
eben,
Japan
nach
as
der
well.
letzten Saison,
Maybe
sehr
would have
guten
wished for
Kompromiss auch mit der
one
Mannschaft
more
finden
week
wollen,
to
eben im Hinblick
prepare,
auf,
but
die noch
nevertheless
sehr auch anstrengende Saison, die auf uns wartet,
some
aber
good
auch dann im Hinblick
impressions
auf
so far.
dass dann wieder eine,
Will be a
eine
long
WM
season,
kommt,
hopefully,
dass wir viele
and,
Spiele hatten und wir haben versucht mit der Mannschaft da einen guten Kompromiss zu finden.
We try
zwischen wann fangen wir
to
mit dem
work on
Training
exactly
an,
that,
damit die Spieler
that
noch
long
genügend Zeit haben, um zu
development
regenerieren, auch frisch zu
towards
werden,
the
auch
end
vom
of the
Kopf her
season
frisch
as
zu
well,
werden.
so that
Und das ist
everything
sicherlich,
builds up to have
hier und da, wo wir sagen,
the
eine
very
Woche mehr
best
hätten wir uns
form
gewünscht, aber ich glaube, das
in
ist
March,
das, wo
April,
wir jetzt
May.
auch alle mit umgehen müssen.
But of course, we would have
Dann lass
wished
uns noch kurz
for
über die neue Spielstätte
a
sprechen, über das
better
neue Zuhause der FC Bayern Frauen, der
pre-season,
Sportpark Unterhaching.
especially with those
Ich
many
finde,
players
es ist eine wunderbare
missing,
Atmosphäre und
but
es macht richtig Spaß, hier
we
Fußball
have
zu
to do
schauen.
with that.
Ja, absolut. Also, dass
Couple of
heute bei
words
dem
on
Wetter so
that
viele
new home here in
Zuschauer
Unterhaching.
den Weg hier nach
It's
Unterhaching
great.
gefunden haben. Es ist
You
wirklich
can see
phänomenal
right away.
und, es ist eine tolle
It's
Stimmung.
unbelievably hot,
Tolles
but still
Stadion,
that
jetzt sieht
many
man's ja auch, wenn
fans.
wirklich so viele Zuschauer da
I really
sind
like
und
the
das macht
stadium
schon
as
Lust
well.
auf mehr, ehrlich gesagt.
It's
Lass uns dann
great
nochmal
to see
strategisch
it with
draufschauen, was bedeutet das
the
auch
field
für den
stands
Frauenfußball
today.
beim FC Bayern
So
München,
very
hier jetzt eine
happy
eigene
to
Spielstätte
be
zu haben,
here more often in the
diesen eigenen,
future.
Campus, kann man
What
sagen,
does that
seit
mean for
2029
Bayern
auch
to
dieses
have
Jahr dann
that
europäisch. Was bedeutet
own
das?
stadium for the women's
Ja, eine
team, to have
unglaubliche
that
Strahlkraft
campus
nach
coming
außen,
up here from
unser eigenes
2029 onwards?
Leistungszentrum hier zu bekommen, aber
Yeah,
auch
it's
angliedern
great,
an das neue
great
Stadion.
development.
Wir haben die Möglichkeit,
Great
einfach
things
mehr
coming up for
Zuschauer
the
ins
future.
Stadion zu
We
bekommen.
have
Und wenn man
to,
heute überlegt, was,
we
glaub ich,
can
knapp
bring
6.000 Zuschauer, im Campus sind 2.500,
more
dann
people
kann
into
man
the
sich das eben
stadium.
ausmalen, wie viele Möglichkeiten
The
uns
comparison
hier mit dem
between the
Stadion
campus
eben
and
auch
here,
gegeben
2,500
wird.
possible at the
Darauf freuen wir
campus.
uns, hier eine neue
Today
Fanschaft auch,
already
mehr
6,000,
heranzuziehen
more
und
than
zu begeistern.
6,000 here. So
Hast du
yeah,
schon Signale aus
we
der
do
Mannschaft
hope
bekommen,
that
die
we
ganzen
can
Spielerinnen auf hier zu spielen?
Also noch nicht.
find more fans
Aber
and
das wird
develop
sicherlich
more
spannend,
FC
jetzt auch mal
Bayern
nach
women's
dem
teams
Spiel, nach der
fans. So
Veranstaltung ein Resümee zu ziehen an allen Ecken, weil das ist
that's
komplett
great.
neu jetzt hier auch.
And
Und da gab es sicherlich heute auch im Vorfeld einige Hiccups, die
of
wir
course,
besprechen müssen.
there's
Aber erstmal
still
tolle
a
Kulisse
couple of
und
things
dass
we
wir
have
jetzt,
to
hier
work
vor so
on
vielen Zuschauern
in
spielen
the
dürfen,
whole
ist schon besonders.
Also halten wir fest, ihr fühlt euch schon wohl, wir fühlen uns auch wohl. Es ist also angerichtet im Sportpark
development
Unterhaching.
here
Wir freuen
in
uns
and
auf die
around the
zweiten
park,
45 Minuten.
and
Vielen Dank, Bianca Rech.
we hope to develop things very quickly and be possible to offer our fans here at this stage. Bianca Rech and her thoughts on that new stadium and of course on the pre-season so far. She seems very relaxed. Let's have a look at a couple of highlights. That was 1-0, Stine Balisaga finding Pernille Harder in the 13th minute. Great cross to the back of many Paris FC players, exactly where Pernille Harder runs through to. And this was the 2-0, the 35th minute, scored by Alara Scheidler, tap in after Bit of ping pong there within the box. Free kick was sent in by Clara Bühl, of course, and Alara scores with that second goal for Bayern. We've seen a couple of chances on the other side for Paris FC as well, but nothing really serious most of the times. Ena Mahmutovic was there to pick things up, as we do see Regina van Eyck getting ready in the goal. Let's see if there's any other players getting ready on the Bayern side. Not really. Same with Paris, but Paris might have made their changes in the locker room already. We'll see what happens, but we can for sure expect that Regina van Eyck will get that second half in goal, replacing Ena Mahmutovic. We've seen that throughout the whole pre-season so far. Couple of last preparations here for the Bayern substitutes. Many young players on the bench for Bayern, with Laura Daffinger, with Clara Choisy. Ella Rauscher made her debut. Already this pre-season with this team. Klein would be third option in goal, and Barbara Dunst we've seen as well warming up here. People in the stands, of course, getting a couple of drinks here. Going for some water in halftime, of course. Some food. Other possibilities in this stadium. That is much better developed, much more chances, much bigger everything than it is in comparison at the campus. So definitely a major upgrade for the fans as well. And since the campus was sold out in every home game last season, with many games having a much bigger ask for tickets than Bayern could offer, does definitely make sense to move towards Unterhaching in the long run. It'll be interesting to see how many people will come around for the Champions League games this season already, which will of course be played within the week, on weekdays. That's a bit of a different, but as I said, it's just 10 minutes of a drive from center of Munich. It's a 10 to 15 minute train ride from the central station out here. Oh, I'd say it's 15 to 20 minutes, to be honest, from the central station of Munich, but nevertheless, it's an easy ride as well. Should upgrade possibilities for fans to come here as well, as the campus, for example, is not easy to reach, only by bus and by car, of course. And here we go with the two Teams coming back onto the pitch. I will try to figure out the changes as fast as I can on both sides. At the moment, I would say Bayern will keep on going for some more minutes. But Paris FC is already preparing some changes. Not sure if they will be officially shown, those changes. So I do see of new players at least getting ready. And here we go with the Bayern squad, which will probably have just one change, which is Guido von Eyck in goal. Here she is, Regina van Eyck. Well, that's the other end of the field. So we have that change there as well with Kinga Severin, also wearing the number 22, taking over from Milen Szawas. Kinga Severin, Poland international, joined this summer. Apart from that, I will try to get best impressions. I do see as Bayern now is playing from left to right in the second half, wearing all red. So 3 changes. Saki Isaka, Japanese midfielder, coming onto the pitch but taking over the left back position today. There she was for the very first time, Saki Ishizaka. We've heard from Bianca Rech, not quite happy with that first half, but of course, good explanations for that. One of them being those unbelievably high temperatures here at Unterhaching. Balizaga. I did expect a couple of changes more, to be honest, on both sides with halftime already. As we see Shaker Scott, who came on as well, number 11 for Paris FC. I think taking over from Océane Picard, who got slightly injured during the first half, so that would definitely make sense. She takes over in midfield. Shaker Scott. Costa Rica. Only 19 years old. So another very young player. Alara. First situation for Scott with that foul against Alara. Of course, these duels are not held too serious in this game of test. Pernilla harder with a good drive, trying to find Damjanovic in the middle as Dahlmann went through a bit too far. Caruso, nice move. Caruso, not an option. Too much traffic. Cross from Bühl. Balizaga moved up the field. Overlapped Dahlmann. And found Dahlmann in the end. Alara, nice move, good dribble. Balizaga. Balizaga for Dahlmann. Would have had more space up front. And huge chance for Caruso. Doesn't take the shot herself. Trying to find harder again. Good ball movement by Bayern in this situation. Bühl for Damjanovic. Hits the woodwork. Jovana Damjanovic, very good sequence by Bayern. 2-3 good crosses into the box. Another corner. Bühl with good cross. Nice corner taken by Clara Bühl, and once again it's Pernilla Harder with the header. Scored with a header against Nürnberg. Was close to adding another one here today. Pernilla Harder seems to be in a great form already in this preseason. Scoring today, scoring against Nürnberg. Scoring in Japan as well. Pernilla Harder. She's ready to go into the season. Bayern now keeping the pressure high. Much better impression already in these first 7 minutes of the second half. And they left in most part of the first half. Maybe one one of the reasons Jose Bacala left most of the things unchanged, to see more of these 10 on the field here today. Regina van Eyck with her first for today. Oh no, it's still Anna Mahmutovic. Sorry about that mistake. Was sure that Regina van Eyck was getting ready as well, but didn't. As I look down now, I can see her still on the bench. So no minutes yet for Regina van Eyck. I didn't double check that. Sorry about that confusion. It's still Anna Mahmutovic in goal. Very obvious that Jose Bacala wants to see more of his possible starting squad against Wolfsburg in the Supercup next weekend. We heard from Bianca Rech that Bayern still takes that Supercup as part of the pre-season. But it's quite obvious that he wants to test this team, who might be the starting team as well. It's quite uncertain who might be back. Momoko Tanikawa should be back, as she's just sick today. Might be back, as well as Sophie Prost. Sophie Prost has not played any minutes with her new team yet, so therefore not expecting her on a starting spot next Saturday. And apart from that, Lena Oberdorf didn't play any minutes. Vanessa Gill not known to be back. Stadratzinger no minutes yet. Anna Klink of course not. Bernadette Mani comes back from the Africa Cup, but hasn't played any minutes yet. Julia Gwynn neither. Francesca Kett is certainly out for some weeks to come. As we go through that again, a lot of bad news in this pre-season. Very understandable. Bianca Rech mentioned that a couple of times in the interview with Lucas in halftime. Not a good cross, doesn't find anyone. Paris FC doesn't seem as consequent, as straightforward as they were in the first half. Mahmutovic. Gustotti. Alara. Bühlen, Naschenweng. Naschenweng. Yeah, that's perfect for Harder. Harder will take that one. Nice shot. Pernille Harder. 57th minute. Good ball movement. Nice pass through by Katharina Naschenweng, as she gets involved a bit more in a central position this time, taking over the left back. Austria international Katharina Naschenweng. And then a very well set through ball to Pernille Harder in the end, creating that chance for Denmark, of course, international. She has by far best goal ratio on the squad, 64 goals in just 98 games. Scoring more than half a goal in every single game. So we do get the official number, 6,000 here at the Sportpark today. Great audience for that very first game in the new home for the FC Bayern women's team. Harder. Gets stopped again. Balisaga taking care of the throw-ins, of course, as well. Is she the right back today? That's part of the job. Well, it's quite obvious that she's not a specialist in doing that. Especially when you think of all the specialists developing now in football. Talking about throw-ins. That's in men's football as well as women's football. But you have one or two options of players that can throw the ball very far into the box in the last third of the field. Balisaga is certainly not an expert yet on that. Eriksson, it's a good switch. Caruso has now moved to the outside. Ariana Caruso, great development of her with this team. She's huge in Italy. First for Kinga Severin, Polish 21-year-old goalkeeper, catching this one. Of course, she wants to fight for that number one spot in goal for Paris FC. Added another one with Rafaela Mendonça, Portugal, as we see a couple of changes now. Katharina Naschawin leaving the field, as well as Pernille Harder. And who is the third to come off? Caruso, Ariana Caruso with Dunst coming onto the pitch as they try to overlook what else is going on the other side. Not too easy now. Traoré, Zangare getting ready. As well as Roche Dufour and number 17, which is, to be honest, not on my list and not on the official list as well. I will try to find that out. But those 4 are now the ones coming onto the pitch for Paris FC. Oh, and a good chance right away after cross. Well defended by Bayern. Nice, good first move by Cassandra Pozzi. So much talent, showing that right away. Gets subbed in and does show right away what we can expect of her in the near and especially a bit further future. Cassandra Pozzi, so much talent. If you do follow the Bundesliga more often and have seen her with Essen, which is great what she can do.
Neu dabei jetzt mit der Nummer 9, Carolina Traoré, mit der 15, Hava Sankari, mit der 31, Kansa Roche-Dufour und mit der 77, Charlie Yarrow.
So it was number 77, not 17, but I could have not imagined a number 77 being subbed on. But that's what we got. Still don't find her anywhere. Cross coming in for Pozzi. A bit too much of a push. I think it is Charlie Hierro, but not 100% sure, to be honest, for Paris FC. But Pozzi took over one-on-one from Caruso in midfield, that's for sure. Oh, is she even... No, she's not. Barbara Dunst is the one taking over on the right back position as we see her now chasing the ball. Balizaga now moved to the middle. And taking over for Caruso. And it seems as if Pozzi is moving more towards the right wing at the moment. Linda Dahlmann moved into the middle, replacing Pernilla Harder in that position. Linda Dahlmann, top candidate to go 90 minutes. As we all know, she is one of the fittest of the team always. Nice, Cassandra Pozzi. The ball in bounds. Dunst. Barbara Dunst. Chased down. Balizaga with second position today. Stine Balizaga, we are not very used to see her in. The defensive midfielder now. And now we have another cooling break. Let's get some drinks. Jose Bacala, of course, once again, a couple of advices. Always seeing things, now talking to Ivana Damjanovic. I think wants to see a couple more switches to the outside, switching positions, keep on moving. Tough one. Of course, for everyone. Dunst and Abul discussing a couple of things as well. And Mahmutovic obviously stays on the field a bit longer. See Laura Darfinger for the first time. Now moving back to that left defensive position, left back today, Laura Darfinger. Very interesting player as well. Under 17 European champion in 2026 with Germany. Won 1-0 against France. Made her debut against Nuremberg as well. Replacing Katharina Naschenweng, who left the field a bit early. 20 minutes to go, plus, of course, a bit more added on. Bayern in the second half being more consequent, winning more duels, spreading the ball much better, creating more chances as well. So now they kind of start to deserve that 2-0 lead they're still in. Again, it's good pressure, a bit too much. Balizaga. I mentioned before that for Paris FC it's a much longer way to go till the season starts. It won't start before September 6th. Sandrine Soubeyran, French record international by the way, as a player. took over in October 2018. So she's a long-term coach. We can definitely say that. Has become very seldom in football. But Paris FC obviously loves the work she does with the squad, and I've mentioned the development they took in the last couple of years, especially becoming second last season behind the benchmark in France. That's of course Olympique Lyonnais, but in front of Paris Saint-Germain, big local rival. Well, they took that step. Oh, nice pass to the run of Damjanovic! Joanna Damjanovic missing another one. She is scoring so many goals for Bayern, but that is one of the things she could still work on. It's those one-on-one situations. Joanna Damjanovic missing too many of them. Missed one of those against RB Omiya in that test in Japan as well, when she ran into the goalkeeper. Didn't get rid of the ball, waited too long. Now it was a bit hectic. She's much better when she can't really think about her shot, and she just needs to take that shot. She scores, but as soon as she gets into one of those positions that she has a bit of time running onto the keeper, she tends to miss a bit more. Joanna Damjanovic, biggest chance of the second half here for Bayern. I've seen so much more from Bayern now in the second half compared to the first one. Quite sure that José Bacala found some serious words in there. We heard Bianca Rech not being happy with that first half. It's probably exactly what José Bacala said as well. He doesn't want to hear any whining about the heat or anything like that. And that's exactly what the squad shows now. Good reaction. Lead is well deserved with 15 minutes to go now. That finger doesn't get there. She does stay in that moved up position with Clara Bühl backing her up. Damjanovic, that's one of her biggest qualities. Those pressure moments, winning a lot of balls up front already, or helping to win them. Other side, offside position. Roche Dufour. Good pass though. And more changes coming up. Just one to be exact. We see Cordelia Da coming on, and on the other end
77. Minute, Wechsel bei den Gästen. Neu auf dem Feld ist Nummer 28, Cordelia Tai.
I think Selina left the field. Yes, that's right. Things getting mixed up a bit more and more on both sides, as far as we can judge now. Bayern able to work with these switches much better than Paris FC is so far. Paris left a much better impression in the first half. So now Linda Dahlmann leaving the field with Ella Rauscher coming on, and Clara Chaussy also coming onto the pitch as Clara Bühl is leaving. That's a first, that's a debut for Clara Chaussy, coming out of Bayern's youth team as well. All of those young players being part of the pro training very often, trying to integrate them early on those young ages, 16, 17 years old. Clara Chaussy, under 17 European champion as well with Germany. Let's see who's taking over. I think that Rauscher is going to that left wing, taking over one-on-one from Clara Bühl. That's right, and Chaussy might be the other way around. In a more central position now, and Chaussy being the one on the wing. Let's wait and see how things develop. Dunst. A very important tackling there against Traoré. 9 minutes left in this one, still a 2-0 lead, resulting out of the first half, with Pernille Harder scoring in the 13th minute and Alara scoring in the 35th. That's all we've seen scoring-wise today. Bayern earned themselves this 2-0 lead in the second half with a much better performance than they showed in the first. Had a couple of good chances to let that lead grow even bigger. Damjanovic missing a big one. Pernille Harder missing a good shot. Pernille Harder with a good chance after a header as well. A couple of good crosses that have been missed in the middle. So yeah, quite some good scenes, especially in the first 15 to 20 minutes for Bayern in the second half. Paris FC not able to develop much anymore in the second half. Looked much better in the first one. Of course, that's certainly for those still remaining on the pitch, question of power in that early stage of the prep. Of course, they have new faces added on to the team as well. But that's always the same. You're always as good as your opponent led you. And Bayern shows a much better performance against the ball as well. Like this, for example. Pozzi winning the ball. Trying to find Rauscher. And another substitution coming up.
Minute nochmal wechseln bei den Gästen. Für die Schlussphase jetzt auch mal dabei. Mitte 21 ist Jan Picard.
Jan Picard coming back onto the pitch. Led to a bit of confusion on my side here, but that's what I mentioned. Two teams, two coaches, especially said that you're always allowed to sub back in if needed, if wanted, and that's what they did. So that's good news from her as well, because I thought she might have left because of her injury. Jan Picard got hit on the ankle in the first half and obviously recovered well. That's good. Don't need any injuries in pre-season. Bayern can have a word about that. Alara now taking over the set pieces as we wait. Clara Bühl left the field. Clara Bühl usually taking those from left and right with her left, respectively, right foot. It's one of those things she does leave me amazed with every time I see it. Strong left, strong right foot, even though I should be used to it, but it's just amazing that she can do that. Alara will serve all those with her left foot. Oh, good move. Showing some quickness again. Cassandra Pozzi. We've had quite some good impressions of Cassandra Pozzi now in this pre-season. Getting more and more into it. Showing her potential. Showing the reason why Bayern wanted her so badly. Alara will be ready again to take this one. Oh, it's swung in onto the goal. Severin with the save. Kick was taken by Barbara Dunst. Well onto the goal. Let's see what that corner can bring. Nothing in this case. Push again, Pozzi and Rauscher. Eriksson. Keep on going. Defense is much better from Bayern now. Even if there's a couple of balls coming into the middle, like in this case by Roche-Dufour, it's all being cleared away. Tai is back on her feet as well. That collision with Magdalena Eriksson. Last minute to be played here regularly. We get at least 3 minutes on top, but I can imagine it won't be much more here today. Anna Mahmutovic playing through this one. No minutes for Regina van Eyck today. That's quite surprising. There might be some good reasons for it. Mahmutovic. Oh, not too bad of a ball. Take down the field, trying to find Clara Chauzy. Very special moment for her, of course, as well. I didn't see any extra minutes being held up down there at the field. Didn't see any sign by the ref as well, so we can just kind of speculate what's coming up. Suppose it's 3 minutes on top. Pozzi. Cassandra Pozzi has that calmness with the ball already as well, at a young age. So something you can find very often. Alara. Eriksson, Vigosdottir, those three to collect all the minutes, as well as Balizaga and Damjanovic. I think those should be the 5 who had to stay throughout the whole game. And Mahmutovic on top of that as well, of course, back in goal. Quite as exhausting as the job on the pitch. Damjanovic still running after the ball after 92 minutes in the heat. So impressive. Physically always trying to find the limit and more. Chauzy. 3 minutes on top are through. And we do have another medical timeout. Might be a good moment actually to finish this one off. Obviously she doesn't want to. Well, hopefully nothing serious. She can get back up. That's good. Melvin Ndongala. All the best for her. She might not get back onto the pitch for the last couple of seconds, probably. Fans happy with that win and the new south stands they have now here at Unterhaching. Many fans, as we can see, lined up close to the pitch already. All of those young fans especially waiting for autographs and pictures afterwards. And that's one of those really great things you get to see in women's football. You can be certain that the Bayern players will take their time, go around and fulfill all those wishes, or the most of them at least. And this is it. Bayern win this final test, this dress rehearsal against Paris Saint-Germain. 2-0. Two scores by Pernille Harder and Alara Scheidler in the first half. As we'll be back with a further conclusion later on. But we do see that we have a very first interview ready with Lucas and Franziska Kett waiting down there. Will take another couple of seconds till they're really ready to go. As we see all of the Bayern injured players coming onto the pitch as well, joining for some greetings later on. So here we go, Lucas and Franziska Kett.
So sieht's aus. Franzi Kett ist bei mir. Franzi, erste, allerwichtigste Frage. Wie geht's dir jetzt so kurz nach der Verletzung?
First and most important questions, how are you with your injury? On a good way back after 1 week of rehab. Can build up on that and I hope I can be back within the next couple of weeks. What are you working on at the moment and what should be the next steps? I need to find the stability and the foot, a lot of cycling for the conditioning, and I hope that I can be back very, very soon.
Jetzt mal in ungewohnter
Still, we have to keep calm, that's for sure.
Sportpark Unterhaching. Wie hat's dir als Zuschauerin heute
How did you like it here in the new home, Sportpark Unterhaching? Yeah, great atmosphere, many people out here. And I will be anxious to have that support oftentimes, and seems as if it's a best-case stadium for us in the future.
Was siehst du, was muss noch kommen, dann im Idealfall zum Saisonauftakt auf der
still needed, especially next week with the Supercup coming up against Wolfsburg. Yeah, because we could see that there's many injured players, but we had a couple of good moments already Still a lot of work for us to do, no doubt about that, but we can build up on the many good situations we have in that preparation phase.
Und dir natürlich alles Gute, sehr schnell gewesen. Vielen Dank für deine Zeit.
A good first game, and maybe a first title in the Supercup against Wolfsburg. Franzi Kett leaving as we wait for Chiara Fischer, looking for a couple of more voices we can hear. As we see Franzi Kett joining the squad with her injured foot after that ankle injury, and Clara Bühl going the other way. That means we will hear Clara Bühl here in a couple of minutes as well. Yes, of course, some happy faces. I talked about that beforehand. Good result, of course, important for self-esteem, for the back of the heads, as we see Julia Gwynn as well. She expected to be back in team training, hopefully very soon as well. She's done a lot on the pitch already, but is not involved in the full contact situations after her surgery yet, but
ja, genau. Ich bin's und nicht der Lukas. Und ich habe Clara Bühl bei mir. Wir haben es
gerade
schon angesprochen, der letzte Test vor dem ersten Pflichtspiel gegen den VfL Wolfsburg. Mit was für einem Fazit geht man hier aus dem Spiel raus? Ich habe gerade gesehen, ihr standet auch kurz im Kreis zusammen. Was hat der Coach gesagt?
What's the conclusion of today? What did the coach say? I'm very happy. All in all, a quite positive game with that win as well. Put up the self-esteem. Paris SC played very well as well. Quite intense with the heat. Quite exhausting, but we take that win into that Super Cup. And very happy to start the season and very positive for next weekend. The Super Cup one last pre-season game, one last test, or no, of course we want to win that Super Cup. We want to
trotzdem noch vielleicht Augenmerk auf Sachen legen, ja, die wir noch nicht bearbeitet haben. Das muss man einfach schauen, aber grundsätzlich.
And of course we still need to work on a couple of things, but we want to have that silverware. We want to win that Super Cup against Wolfsburg and set a first statement and start positive before we start into the Bundesliga season.
Wie sehr ist die Vorfreude hier, die Champions League Spiele diese Saison
auszutragen? How happy are you to play your Champions League games in the stadium this season? Very happy, a very positive surprise, I would even say, because we didn't quite know what we can expect of this, but great atmosphere from the very beginning in this game. Great feeling to get into the stadium. Champions League, of course, a bit more special than as well when you play those games here, and that we can have that many fans in this stadium as well. Of course, big expectations for the Champions League season as well. Thanks very much for the interview, and one last time we take over from up here with those statements from Franziska Kett and Clara Bühl. Yeah, we can hear all the positivity. Very good mindset. They can be very positive with those pre-season games. Friendly against Nuremberg, against RB Omiya in Japan. Especially the Omiya game and this one today should bring a lot of positivity to Jose Bacala and his coaching team as well to start next weekend. Oh, nice celebration with the fans as well. So this is becoming home with each minute they on the pitch down there, even after the game. Should be great feelings for the team. So that's what's coming up next for Bayern, the Super Cup, and then the start in the Bundesliga against Union on the 21st, Friday night, season opener for all the Bundesliga, of course, with the title holders. Apart from that, of course, I want to mention next games coming up for our men's squad here on FC Bayern TV Plus as well. Telekom Cup in the Allianz Arena,
Jawohl, wir melden uns noch ein allerletztes Mal vom Spielfeld ran.
This one last
ja
stand-up from Lukas
das Spiel hier im Sportpark Unterhaching,
and
muss man ganz
Chiara.
klar sagen. Du warst vorher
two
noch
of
ein bisschen
them, of
draußen
course,
unterwegs und das muss man vielleicht hier
the
auch mal
last,
mit erwähnen. Es gab eben dieses
the first impressions for them too.
Von der Stimmung
Chiara
rund
was
ums
out
Stadion erzählen. Was hast du
on the
erlebt?
fan
Also
festival
muss
as
ich
well.
sagen, es war schon echt richtig cool. Es
Her
waren
experience
richtig viele
down
Leute
there.
auf diesem
Yeah,
Fanfest.
very nice. A lot
Da
of
musste
people
man schon ordentlich
on that fan
anstehen, wenn man
festival.
irgendwo an einem
Great
Glücksrad
thing,
drehen wollte und irgendwie einen Gewinn einfahren.
did
Also
there for
da
the
waren
fans
viele
here as
Leute
well
unterwegs.
to
Stimmung
establish
war
this
super.
new
Ich
home.
glaube, es war für die Fans ja
Great
auch
atmosphere.
irgendwie schön,
A lot of
diese
things.
Frauenmannschaft hier willkommen zu heißen
could do
in
there.
ihrer neuen Heimat und für die
So yeah,
Frauen erst
perfect
recht.
way
Ich hab's gerade
to
gesehen.
welcome
Sie
the
haben mit den
fans to this new
gejubelt
home.
und ich glaube, es macht
And
Freude auf
I
mehr
think
hier
it
in
works.
Zukunft.
And
Also
yeah,
ich glaube, wir beide können ganz klar feststellen, es macht richtig Spaß hier
a
vor
lot
Ort.
more we can expect from this new home.
Du hast es gerade gesagt, die Fans
It
haben
was
es auch
so
richtig
much
gut
fun here
angenommen.
in this new home.
Das lässt hoffen
So
auf eine wunderschöne Champions League-Saison, die man hier spielen kann.
We'll
im
be ready for
Sportpark
a
Unterhaching.
hopefully great Champions League season here
Also da wird
in
jedes Spiel
Unterhaching.
angeguckt.
We will
Das auch
be
gerne
watching
dann von eurer
every
Seite.
single
Wir
game here in
verabschieden uns
Unterhaching.
aus
Of
dem
course,
Sportpark
same for
Unterhaching
you.
mit einem
So
2:0 Sieg.
goodbye from our side. Thanks for joining us
Wir sehen
today.
uns dann,
This
wenn ihr wollt,
last
Sie wollen,
test,
wieder
Bayern
nächstes
against
Wochenende
Paris
schon
FC 2-0.
zum
And
Franz
we
Beckenbauer
can see each
Cup.
other.
So ist
for,
es genau, das ist der nächste Termin. Nächste Woche hier auf
we can
FC
see
Bayern
each
TV
other
Plus. Wir werden auf jeden Fall da sein. Schalten
again
Sie, schaltet ihr
next
gerne
week
wieder ein. Wir freuen uns drauf.
on
Und
FC
sagen
Bayern TV
Servus
Plus with the
vom
men's game.
Sportpark in Unterhaching.
Mentioned that before. Bye bye.